In this video, I'm going to show you how to graph a system of linear inequalities. So just real quick, I want to review a couple things. We learned in a previous video that points on a dashed line would not be solutions, and so just want to remind you that if you see this symbol less than or greater than, you got to use a dashed line. And if you see the equal to line underneath, you're going to draw a solid line. And so I noticed that one of my lines is going to be dashed. I'm going to write that down to remind myself. And then the bottom line here is going to be a solid line. All right, so I'm going to start with the top function here, and I'm going to start with our y-intercept of 2. And so I'm going to graph that point, and then I'm going to go with the slope, which is -2. And -2 means you're going to go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. So down 2, right 1, put a point, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and keep going until you fill your grid. And then I'm going to actually work backwards, kind of get that pattern going. So up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1. And now I'm going to connect those with a dashed line. So hopefully I remember with my pen, because I can't erase here. And I'll just maybe go through every other dot. And now what I'm going to do is, let's see here, graph this second line. I'm going to use another color for this one. Let's use some blue. I'm going to start with -1 on my y-axis. That's my y-intercept, so down here. And then I'm going to follow my slope, which is 1/3. So up 1, right 3. Up 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go the same backwards. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now what I'm going to do is connect those with a solid line. All right. Now, the shading in this one is just, I want you to listen real quick. What we want to do is find one region to shade. And so we're going to have to find what's called the double shaded region. And what I mean by that is, well, you're going to shade above or below each of these lines. And so you're going to have kind of 3 sections that will end up looking shaded. But the double shaded region is your actual solution to your problem, because we want the shaded region that works for both. Okay, so I'm going to start with testing at a point. And it looks like, you know, pick a point like 0, 0. That's easy. I know 0, 0 is not on this blue line, so I'm going to test 0, 0 for my first line. This is going to be my test point. Okay, so if I have y is greater than -2x plus 2, and I test 0 out, I'm going to plug my 0, 0 in. Is 0 greater than 0 plus 2, or is 0 greater than 2? No. So I'm not going to shade above the line for the blue line. I want to shade below the line. And so I want to shade down here. Okay, so that's the bottom line. Let's see now, or the top line, excuse me. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I shaded the wrong one. I should have marked. Hold on. Let me explain what I messed up here. Okay, I actually like that you saw me make that mistake, because my top line is that I was testing was not my blue line. So I was doing the math for the red line, but then I shaded according to the blue line. And so actually I'm glad I made that mistake on video, so you can see that, you know, your math teachers, we're not all perfect human beings. So the line that I was testing was this line here, which was the line that I drew in red, okay? And then this line here, the bottom line, I changed my color that was blue. So maybe you want to highlight for yourself so that you don't get mistaken like I did right there. But good thing that I showed you, we can recover quickly. The top line was red. The red line is what I tested. And so from 0, 0, 0 did not work on that point. So really I should have shaded the other side of this line, which is going to be this region over here. So I was testing that red line. Okay, now let's test, I'm going to put right down here, my blue line. All right, so if I have y is less than or equal to 1/3 x minus 1, and I'm going to test 0, 0, we're just going to sub in those numbers. Okay, so is 0 less than or equal to 0 minus 1, or is 0 smaller than or equal to -1? No, that is also not true. So again, I actually did shade the right side for the blue line, but I wasn't testing that line, so I will actually shade below this blue line. Okay, now I tried to shade lightly and in different directions, so now hopefully you can see that the double shaded region was this section over here. And so maybe just emphasize, you know, by shading it in even more, that this region only here is your solution region. Not this region because it didn't shade for both, and not this region because it didn't shade for both. So your solution set would be any point in this section or on this blue line right here. Not over here because that won't work for the red function, but it has to be in this kind of region over here, this kind of corner. All right.